Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, or you find a way to lose. So ENNIS getting a step closer, man, to securing a legitimate welterweight title shot. It is coming, I'm telling you. I honestly feel at this point, a lot of times you get the word ducked thrown around a lot. And, it's boxing politics. Money runs boxing. Politics runs boxing. A lot of these fighters want the easiest fight for the biggest amount of money. But then you get a few who are just cut from a different cloth who just want to fight. They don't care if they lose. They just want to fight to prove they're the best. But at the same time, there has to be some kind of monetary incentive. ENNIS is one of those guys. People are running from him. And I will say this. I don't think ENNIS has proven himself yet. Now, what I mean by that, I think he's beyond fantastic, okay? But for me to sit here and crown him as the next best thing at welterweight or super welterweight, right? I have to see him go through some adversity. You got to see these fighters go through adversity. A lot of time when things are going their way in the ring, they look outstanding, they look phenomenal. Everyone's quick to say, that they're the next Floyd Mayweather, they're the next this, next that. When in actuality, we haven't really seen them get tested. So for me, it is extremely important that we see ENNIS go through some adversity. Let him get hurt. And then let's see how he fights back. Let's see if he finds a way to win. That's going to tell a lot about him and his character. Now, he passes the eye test. I'm going to tell you that right now. He passes the eye test. I think right now, with all of the opponents that Terrence Crawford has faced, I think ENNIS beats all of them. With all of the opponents that Errol Spence has faced, I would have to favor ENNIS against all of them, okay? But at the same time, I have to see what he does when he gets hurt. You may say, man, you're just hating on Boots. No, I'm not. Hold your horses. Listen to what I'm saying. I think he's the next best thing. He passes the eye test. But he hasn't gone through what Mayweather went through against Sean B. Mitchell, against Chop Corley, against Mosley, against the Drunken Master. You remember those fights? Mayweather got hurt. Especially in that Chop Corley fight. See, a lot of people, they don't know boxing. They talk about Mosley. Oh, yeah, Mosley hit me. Yeah, he touched Mayweather. Maidana touched Mayweather. But see, peel the layers back. You can't because you don't watch boxing like that. That Chop Corley fight, Mayweather was out on his feet. But muscle memory, the man just put his arms up and went back into the ropes. And I was like, that's amazing. He was hurt. I mean, Mayweather was out, man. He put his hands up, though. Then you know what he did? He came back and stopped Corley. Sean B. Mitchell, Sean B. was landing some good shots. Mayweather put his foot on the pedal, got him out of there. Shane Mosley, we saw Mayweather got hurt bad twice in them early rounds. And what'd he do? Fastened his seatbelt and went to work. Okay? Even when he fought Maidana. Now, I'm going to be honest. If there was another 30 seconds at the end of that damn round where Maidana caught him with that right hand, Floyd Mayweather may have a loss on his record. Because his shoulders were up around his ears and he was, he was high-stepping back to that corner, boy. That shit was funny. But what I'm saying is, you see Mayweather go through adversity and come back to win and knock people out. Shane Mosley, go through adversity, come back to win and knock people out. De La Hoya, go through adversity, come back to win and knock people out. Felix Trinidad, especially Felix Trinidad. He always getting dropped in fights. But once you hit him and you piss him off, oh, Lord have mercy. Felix Trinidad coming to kill you. So what I'm saying is those guys are cut from a different cloth. And we haven't seen Jaron Ennis go through anything like that to see how he would respond. And that's what I want to see from him. But it seems like there's some people out there who've already pretty much said that Jaron Ennis is the next best thing because, like, Stanionis, I truly believe will fight anyone. But according to Boots Ennis, him and Stanionis were the ones who were supposed to be fighting. It wasn't supposed to be Stanionis and Virgil Ortiz. It was supposed to be Boots and Stanionis. He said he thought the deal was done, but something happened. He didn't say anything negative about Stanionis, but what I think is politics, man. You got Oscar De La Hoya over there who's doing everything, any and everything he can in his power to make big fights for his guys. I'm sure Oscar De La Hoya done grabbed a hold of somebody and tongue kissed him, you know what I'm saying? Just to try to make a fight. Oscar De La Hoya, at this point, seems like he'll do anything to make a fight for one of his guys. So all of a sudden, Stanionis falls off the radar. He's fighting Virgil Ortiz. Boots Ennis is sitting there looking crazy. So Boots Ennis, fortunately, he really has no other options. Keith Thurman's occupied. Spence is occupied. Ugas has to get his eye right. You already know what's going on with Crawford. You know, so he's like, you know what? The next best thing, he's taking on Ukraine's Karin Chikadzian, right? And they're going to be fighting for the IBF interim 147-pound championship. Now, this is the thing, because they already did, you know, they already announced it and everything. But Ennis is 29-0 and 27 KOs. He's ranked number one amongst the IBF's welterweight contenders. All right, for Earl Spence, who has that IBF belt, the WBA and WBC. So he's in a great position. Now, this guy, Chikadzian, probably butchering his name, he's ranked fourth by the IBF. So Ennis is he's taking what he can get. You know, he didn't go out and seek this guy, right? Nobody wants to fight him. This isn't a situation like where Crawford had an opportunity to fight for the undisputed and just chose to walk away and fight Evanesian. Like, there was no mandatory, there was no one forced his hand. It's just a choice he made. Doesn't matter if he did it to support his family and all that. He didn't know what direction the Spence fight was going. He tired of waiting, no patience. Hey, I understand. It doesn't mean I agree with what Crawford did. I think he should have took the fight for all the marbles, but it is what it is. But with Boots Ennis, this isn't that situation. He's like clawing to try to get a damn big fight. He just can't get it. But I think he's definitely getting himself in position and primed up to show everybody what he's really about. And I'm not talking about fighting the guy from Ukraine, his next fight. I'm talking about getting past him and seeing who's out there on the spectrum, because after this fight, he's got to get somebody. Somebody has to fight him. And I want to see him in there tough. I want to see him get buzzed. I want to see how he bounces back. And if he comes through that test with flying colors, and then I'll crown him. And I'll say everybody needs to leave this man alone. Because so far, he definitely passes the eye test. And there are a lot of people with way more experience in boxing than me. And I'm not talking about these cockaholes with YouTube channels who just over here, just talking and running their mouths. I'm talking about professional boxers, professional trainers, professional commentators who've been around the sport for years. They look at Boots Ennis and they see something special. I think they see the same things we see, but they see it through a different lens. So I have to respect what they're saying. But Ennis is definitely the betting favorite against the Ukrainian fighter. And he's looking to get in there with Spence. And that's what it is. Now, right now, Spence is, 28-0 with 22 KOs. Spence is supposed to be fighting Thurman, but he's adamant about not fighting him. So I want to see what's going to happen between Spence and Thurman, because if that fight doesn't take place, then Thurman ain't going to take the damn fight with Boots Ennis anyway. I don't know what the hell is going to happen with Thurman if Spence chooses not to fight him. But Spence may get stripped of a damn belt too. But what I'm getting at is Boots Ennis has a big fight coming up. After this, he gets through this guy. there's nowhere else for him to go. You know, like there's just nowhere else for him to go. It's not his fault that the fight between, you know, Spence and Crawford fell apart in late October. You know what I'm saying? The one thing I will say is Ennis is not affiliated with Al Heyman. He's not affiliated with PBC, which makes it even more difficult for them to secure fights for him, you know, because PBC just has the majority of the welterweights, and they can make whatever fights they want. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Ennis and this guy, Karen, the Ukrainian fighter. We got to put a little respect on his name. You know, he's the number 4, the IBF, 21 wins, 1 loss, 11 KOs. So he's doing something right. But I just think Boots Ennis is going to walk through him. And then hopefully next year he gets, before the summer of next year, he gets a huge fight. And I'm really hoping it's going to be against one of these big names. And that's going to posture these guys for a shot at a title. Because next year, I really think is the year of the mandatories. I understand money talks, but I really feel it's the year of the mandatories. And I think all these mandatories are breathing down the necks of Spence and Crawford. And even a big name like Earl Spence. Like, they're going to have to fight him. Something's going to have to materialize, because they can't keep going on just not fighting these guys. Like, they're right there knocking on the door. They're at the doorstep. They're about to break the damn door down, come inside the house and take what they want. And that's good to see. So we'll see what happens. But STANIONIS' team, they didn't want to fight him. Well, I'll say his team, because STANIONIS will fight anyone. But his team, they just didn't want to fight him. And Boots Ennis was kind of left in a position like Earl Spence, where you think you had these negotiations that are ongoing and the deal's about to be sealed, or you're in good spirits, you're getting all the right indications, and then all of a sudden things get quiet and you find out the fight's not happening. So that's got to be a bit disheartening. Had to have been a bit disheartening for Boots, kind of like what it was for Spence. But that being said, we'll see what next year holds for him. I'm hoping he gets a big fight, because I think I know he passes the eye test, but let's see what happens if he goes through some adversity. That's what I want to see from him. That being said, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.